It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. On this, the 12th day of July, 2022. Coming to you live today. Not like I told you yesterday. My apologies. I screwed up, looked at the calendar wrong. Yes, tomorrow is the day I will be in the oncologist office, not today. So today I'm live instead of pre-recorded like I announced yesterday. Tomorrow the show will be pre-recorded. So my apologies for any confusion that may have caused. So hopefully everybody got the word and we'll make it to the show. And if you didn't, my apologies. You can catch it on the replay again. I don't know why. I thought my appointment was on Tuesday, and it was, in fact, on Wednesday. So, all right. Main story today is the Carnival guest falls off the pier in Bimini. That's on today's Travel and Cruise Industry News for the 12th day of July. Today is National Pecan Pie Day, folks. Now, those of you that have followed me over the years know that I am not the biggest pie fan in the world. I'm pretty particular on pies that I like. I don't eat them very often. But I do, I like chocolate. I like coconut. And pecan pie is one that I do like. Of course, it's mainly around on our Thanksgiving holidays in the U.S. and Christmas, but I will eat pecan pie. I prefer it with a little whipped cream, but that's just me. Today is National Pecan Pie Day. If you know where you can get some, go have a slice. All right, we do have a few cruise ships sailing from American ports today, North American ports. From Manhattan and New York, we've got the Oceania Insignia. Up in Seattle, the Carnival Splendor. In Anchorage, the Viking Orion. We also have the Celebrity Millennium, Royal Princess, and Norwegian Jewel land packages kicking off from Anchorage. In Fairbanks, the Celebrity Millennium and the Royal Princess land packages, as well as the Norwegian Bliss, Norwegian Encore, Noordam, and Norwegian Jewel land packages all get started in Fairbanks today. In addition to the main story with the guest falling off the pier in Bimini, we do have some Carnival updates from the ambassador himself. The Coral Princess had a little bit of an outbreak, how they're handling it in Australia. Swan Hellenic's SH Vega inaugural cruise was delayed for a day. And the Yosemite Wildfire threatens Sequoia trees. And a whole lot more here live at 11 o'clock this morning, despite what I said yesterday. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big guys, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, all those guys. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and the fat guy pops up. If you are watching or listening via the podcast, if you want to jump over to the video feed at any time, you can always look down in the description of the podcast, and there will be a link which will take you over to the video feed. As far as I know, on Thursday, number one, we'll have a special guest on this show. Also on Thursday, the New York Times podcast called First Person, at least as far as I know, will feature yours truly on the episode of first person. And again, just to reiterate, tomorrow's show will be pre-recorded, as I will be with the oncologist at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. By the way, those of you that have been following me know I was a little shaky over the weekend as a result of the medication. Felt pretty good yesterday. I actually feel really good today, so I'm having a couple pretty good days. All right, I'll be back with our news stories for today after a word from one of our network sponsors. And with the news this morning, we got to jump over to the Bahamas and Bimini. During a port call in Bimini on Sunday, a guest from the Carnival Liberty fell off the pier. Thankfully, fellow passengers, the ship's deck crew, and security staff managed to come to his rescue. The guest seemed unable to swim in the turbulent water below. Cruise ship passengers from the Liberty filmed the ordeal while the rescue was in progress. Two guests can be seen holding a life ring trying to bring the man to safety, with another person in the water trying to keep the man from drowning. After several minutes, the effort seemed to be in vain. Another man jumped into the water to help. Only at this point is it possible to steer the man to some nearby stairs where he can finally get out of the water. There may have been some adult beverages involved while the individual was a guest ashore in Bimini. I'm not saying that is a fact, but it certainly seems that might be a likely possibility. The person who fell in the water was indeed fortunate. Piers are notoriously dangerous spots, as turbulent water and currents will often cause swimming nearly impossible. With the calm day in Bimini, the victim at least stood a chance to be saved. What is also worth pointing out is that the pier there in Bimini lacks some of the safety measures, such as no-go areas, no-walk areas, which are in place in most ports. At most cruise piers, yellow lines are painted on the concrete surface to warn people not to get too close to the edge. Anyone going on a cruise should never forget the dangers of ports and docks with huge ships nearby, turbulence in the water, and extremely sharp barnacles along the concrete pillars. It's important to never get near the edge. The guest who fell off the pier in Bimini did not seem to suffer any severe injuries and was able to walk after. Also from Carnival, from the ambassador himself, John Yield, he updated a couple things that are of some particular interest. One, the cruise line has been struggling with staffing levels. Carnival Cruise Line and many of the other cruise lines are dealing with crew shortages on board their ships. Several U.S. embassies have been dealing with a severe backlog of visa applications, causing crew members to be unable to join cruise ships. That being said, Carnival Cruise Line has now said it hopes to be able to reach normal staffing levels by the end of the month or in early August. So they are getting very close to being back to normal. Also from Carnival, Camp Ocean is now open to all kids in the age bracket of 2 to 5 years old, including vaccinated and unvaccinated kids. There are no changes in the testing or vaccination protocols. Many people had hoped that Carnival would follow suit and start doing away with the pre-cruise testing. Carnival's story is that as long as they're sailing from the United States and Canada primarily, they got to keep up with the testing until the CDC and other agencies change their requirements to the cruise ships. And finally, from Carnival, and this is one that I've been in the background rooting for, concerning the recent brawls on Carnival ships. Carnival has dealt with the situation effectively on the two that affected them. Security teams broke up the altercations. Local authorities processed the people involved. In other words, they turned them over to the cops. On top of that, these people will never be able to sail on board a Carnival cruise ship again. Do not blame me, Carnival. That's exactly what I would have done with them. Kick them the hell off. All right. Coral Princess, it's sad. It just got started sailing in Australia, and they've got a pretty good sized outbreak of COVID on one of the ships down there. It's somewhat surprising that how the government handled this. Australia and New Zealand both have been two of the strictest places on Earth for their COVID response and how they've handled it. So an outbreak on board Coral Princess. Actually, Princess is offering refunds on the sailing that's involved. The cruise is not canceled, however, and a variety of mitigating measures are in place to protect both passengers and crew members. They had roughly 100 cases total reported between crew and passengers. Minister of Health and Ambulance Services Yvette Daff has commented on the situation, and I quote, "There are protocols in place as to what would occur if there was an outbreak, and we are seeing an outbreak. Some of those passengers are being removed. They have chosen to isolate either home or in other accommodations, and we've supported them in doing that." She went on to say that we have waited so long to get the cruise industry restarted, and our tourism industry is so important. We are not doing anything to jeopardize that. So they're letting the cruise industry and their protocols go to see if that doesn't take care of the situation, as opposed to intervening. Hats off to Australia. All right, and a picture and story by my buddy Dave Monk. A story yesterday about the SH Vega. It's supposed to have its inaugural cruise yesterday. Well, the new Swan Hellenic ship is leaving Helsinki a day late on its inaugural voyage due to a landslide of administrative problems, according to the line's CEO, Andrea Zito. He told a press conference that a vital email registering the ship in Panama had failed to arrive in time for it to leave as scheduled at the 3 p.m. Yesterday sailing time, which was just a couple hours after its christening. Vega was originally going to be registered in Malta, but problems arose after the Russian-based leasing company that was going to buy the ship was hit by sanctions following the invasion of Ukraine. Swan Hellenic put in a winning bid at an auction, but had to find a new flag country. The registration process that normally takes 2 weeks had to be condensed into days. The company put in requests in both Nassau and Panama, but the Bahamas was closed for public holiday, and the electronic documents from Panama did not arrive until after midnight. Vega will now sail at 6 p.m., will arrive in Copenhagen 24 hours later than planned. It will then head to Tromsø in Norway for the mating cruise starting on July the 20th. Mr. Zito's comments explained why the ship's registration on the stern was changed from Nassau to Panama, while media and trade representatives were on board. And of course, on board was our buddy Dave Monk, who took the picture and wrote the story. Thank you, Dave, for the information. And finally, this morning, if you've watched any of the U.S. news the last couple days, you've probably seen this, as there is a wildfire in Yosemite National Park, which is putting the famed giant sequoia trees in danger. As a result of the fire, which has currently burned more than 2,300 acres, Yosemite has announced both entry and road closures, as well as mandatory evacuations in certain areas. The fires are threatening properties around southern Wawona area, in addition to the park's iconic giant sequoias. They've also developed a almost like an irrigation system to keep these trees watered down as much as they can to protect against the fire engulfing them. So efforts are being made to save the sequoia trees, but they are definitely at risk. All right, that's it on the news today. It was kind of a light news day, so let's jump over, see who's with us in the chat room today. All right, Lizzie's with us. Hi, Lizzie. Katie's here. She's up in Martha's Vineyard. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Good. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling so much better. Last time I texted you this weekend, I was pretty shaky. I guess that was maybe Sunday, and had a really rough couple days, but I felt better yesterday and a whole lot better today. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Mike's with us. Good morning, Mike. Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Carol's with us. Nikki's with us down in Jacksonville. Jason's with us. Is he live? Yes, I'm live today. Tomorrow I'll be pre-recorded. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you, Jason. A nice super chat from my buddy Jason up there in Pittsburgh. He's going to be on Legend. Saturday you sailed, Jason? I think Saturday's the correct day. Anyway, we're going to be getting some information from Jason on Carnival Legend, which I've not had. I don't think I've ever had anything from Carnival Legend before. Anyway, looking forward to that. Thank you, Jason, for the compliment. Hot Air Tom's with us. Hi, everyone. Fake out on the live. Yeah, well, sorry about that. It wasn't intended to be a fake out. It was a typical Chillie screw up. What can I say? I looked at the calendar and thought it was tomorrow, today, yesterday, whenever I looked. Carnival is trying to upgrade me to a suite now. Wow, nice. Jason says it's just angry people. Just ignore them. I agree. Cindy says, Jason, take it. Suites are awesome. I had one on Liberty and it was beautiful. Jason says they must like something about him. Only 6 days to go. I'll move south soon. We love you, Chillie Cruises. Keep going. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm hanging in there. It's going to be interesting to have some testing done. One will be a full week into me taking this medication. Now, whether that's going to show anything or whether this will just set a hard timeline, I don't know. But we'll see. And also see how often I have to go back for testing my liver and other things from the possible side effects. Chillie's Cruises was on the phone with the suite concierge this morning. Our owner's suite comes with 3 bottles of liquor. I ordered 2 different rums and a wine. Chillie can have an adult beverage. I always will have an adult beverage with you, Hot Air. Always. Anytime, day or night, doesn't matter. I won't go fall off a dock after I've had an adult beverage or 2. I guarantee you on that. Unless I drive the whole damn scooter off the dock. That would be an interesting. I wonder if I can do a reverse 1.5 on a scooter off a dock. Have an adult beverage in the hot tub, he said. Okay. I'm glad you added the hot tub part. Doesn't matter. I'll have the adult beverage wherever you want to drink, Hot Air. I'm good with that. Emily's with us. Hi, Emily. Cindy says 6 days. Enjoy, Jason. I love living close to the Florida ports. I was on Legend about 10 years ago and loved this ship. Nice. Stop in Richmond on the way and visit. Well, Richmond is a little out of the way to Baltimore, Hot Air, from Pittsburgh. Just a little. Owner's suite. Yeah, that would be awesome to get the owner's suite. Finally, Chillie has someone watching his chat. Oh, yes. Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Jason is moderating to get rid of the sex bomber when it pops up. So, and I guess Jason got rid of the sex bomber today if Emily saw that. Anyway, so Jason says, okay, I'll visit both Chillie and Hot Air Tom. That'd be cool. Come on with it. Be happy to have visitors. Hot Air says, if I forgot Jason was sailing from Baltimore. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit out of the way. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up today. Jason says, sex bombers will be gone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate that. I like not having to deal with that. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, I appreciate your being here. If you're new to this channel, we always appreciate the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification. You'll be notified whenever I go live or a new video is up. I'll be doing getting some videos up here that I've been working on, several of them. So we'll get those up as I can. And then we'll see how this business with the doctor goes, because I certainly want to get on with my cruising sooner rather than later. So, all right, guys, everybody have a fantastic day. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day we'll all get together soon on the high seas. This is the old fat travel guy. Have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.